Hey guys, this is Daniel. So this is video number 3 of Passover. Some information about Passover, the uh, the final stretch before the holiday. Okay, so it is very interesting. There is a lot to talk about as far as technicalities and the things we do on Passover only, and things we're supposed to do. One thing is the chametz, the leavened bread, the pastry, usually the grains, all the derivatives and grain products we don't eat on Passover. And I'm sure you can find a lot of information on the internet. And we eat matzah. We eat matzah, and the matzah is bread. It's considered bread. We call it lachma anya, the the bread of poverty. Why poverty? Because the matzah, which is like a cracker, is a bread that doesn't have the rising that the regular bread has. It doesn't have that rising that represent desire to receive for the self alone, ego, and selfishness. Okay, that's in a nutshell. So, a lot of rules and guidelines about the holiday, what we can do, what we cannot do, and it could get very complex. But I want to talk about something else, since again you can find information all over the internet about the technicalities of the holiday. But it's important to understand when the children of Israel left Egypt. So it says, Parashat Beshalach, portion of Beshalach, it says, Vahi Beshalach Paro et ha'am, when Pharaoh let the people go, he actually sent them, and Velonacham Elokim derech Eretz Pelishtim, and God didn't guide them through the land of the Philistines. And why not? Because he said, well, if they see war, if they see some conflict, they would want to go back to Egypt. And he didn't want to risk it. So he took them, in a different path through the desert. Now, so that's the simple understanding of the words of the Torah. But the Ohev Israel, Rabbi Yehoshua Heschel from Upton, was a great Kabbalist in Europe, and he said the choice of words of the Torah, Velonacham Elokim derech Eretz Pelishtim, and God didn't guide them through the land, so he said derech Eretz. What is derech Eretz? And the Upton Rebbe said he didn't want to bring the people, the children of Israel, he didn't want to bring them down to the ways of the physical land. Now, we know the ways of the physical land represent the way of the illusionary world. The world we live in. And most of the time, we don't get the full picture. We see things, and this is our limitation. If we had spiritual eyes, we could have seen much more than what we actually see. Now, since the beginning of the coming out of Egypt, a little before that, they had the 10 plagues that God sent to Egypt, to the Egyptians, okay? And during the 10 plagues, there were many miracles that happened. For example, the first plague was blood. So Aaron took his staff and hit the Nile, and the Nile became blood. Now, the Nile was the first source of water, of drinking water for the Egyptians. And all of a sudden, there is blood. They cannot drink. And also the Israelites, what did they do? So the Midrash tell us that interesting thing that when you take a jug full with blood and you pour 1 cup for the Egyptian and 1 cup for the for one of the children of Israel, so the Egyptian gets blood and the the Israelite get water. It was a miracle, many miracles through the 10 plagues, many impossible things that happened. So think about miracles. Coming out of Egypt was huge miracle. The reason was because before the children of Israel left Egypt, nobody ever left Egypt. Anyone that came to Egypt one way or another got stuck there, and it wasn't necessarily because he didn't have the passport to cross the border, but he got stuck in the black hole that Egypt was. So, children of Israel, the first time in history there is a nation that leaves Egypt. Huge miracle. Through the desert, God is guiding them with a column of cloud during the day so they know where to go. They didn't have a compass. And the column of fire during the night. So all the time they knew exactly where to go. Every time they stopped in the desert, they had the well of Miriam. They had water, drinking water. They had water of to bathe themselves. Then they had the miracle of the manna from heaven. That was they say bread from heaven. And then they had not locust. They had the quail, that quail. So they had everything they needed, and everything was miraculous. Now, God, as I said before, as what the Apter Rebbe said, didn't want to bring them down. And this is the lesson for each one of us. Only us, only me, only I know who I really am. Now, I know that some people are not really connected to their true self, true identity, but we have a feeling that there is little more inside than what we see on regular basis, on day-to-day basis. And the idea is that Israel is not a religion. Israel is not a nation. Israel is something we have inside, that the higher self. Israel, letters of Li, Rosh. It's when you are connected, when you get, we call it in the Kabbalah, Muchin de Gadlut. Muchin de Gadlut means that you get your full authority, who you are, what you're supposed to be here, what you're supposed to deliver, connected to your soul, unlimited capacity of creating miracle, creating healing around you, inspiring other people, guidance, guiding other people. There is no limit to our true self. That's the Israel. So we are supposed to be just like angels, with unlimited source of energy, information, and power. Now, what happened in the desert, as you know, the story goes, complaining, then the golden calf, and then they came to Israel, and Moses sent the spies. The spies came with some challenging news, and the whole nation, the children of Israel, what did they say? Guys, let's go back to Egypt. Hard to believe, but that's what they say. They got all the way to the land, the promised land, and they wanted to go back to Egypt. Why? Because in Egypt it was comfortable. They had everything they needed. So the idea is that this is where we're supposed to be. We're supposed to live in that reality, a reality of miracle. A lot of a lot of bugs and insects over here. That's the life we're supposed to have. That's the true life. But the ego pull us down, and then the comfort zone, and all the the negative inclination, Satan, and so we blame it on him. But it's our choices. We make our choices. So the point is that we want to choose to live in that reality. And the moment that we make it our choice, we're granted to live in that reality. Again, doesn't mean you need to disconnect from reality where you are, family, people, job, responsibilities, but living in that reality, in the reality of the tree of life, reality of unlimited sources of whatever you need, is definitely much better than where we are today. So coming out of Egypt and connecting to that reality, that's where we need to be. And Passover give us that portal. The gate is open and we can actually connect. We don't know how it's going to look like. We don't know. We don't need to know. We just have to make it our choice. So hopefully, guys, we're going to have an amazing holiday, amazing connection. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you do to connect, make a connection, make the right choices, and hopefully we'll have, after the holiday, we'll have a completely new life, new reality, freedom from the angel of death. And so I'm wishing you Chag Sameach, happy holiday, and I'll see you guys in the next video.